Click, click, boom. What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is back, guys. We are counting down the days to glory, man. And right now we are on day 5. The Quest Countdown, day 5. All right, guys? Almost halfway there. Almost. All right, guys, listen, man. We're going to start with the formalities. This is your first time here on this YouTube page. We want to thank you. We truly appreciate you guys taking time out of your day and finding this channel. However you found it, we hope you like it. If you do, make sure you hit that like button, okay? Then you want to turn on your subscriptions as well, because the subscriptions are going to let you know every time we do something. Then you can go through our whole library of videos that we have for you guys, okay? Also, make sure you have your notification bells activated. That way, every time we go live, impromptu videos, you are notified right away. Give us a follow on some of our social media pages. We have Twitter and Snapchat. Those handles are nothing but 9ERS. Again, that is nothing but the number 9ERS on Twitter as well as Snapchat. And then you can also give us a follow on our Instagram as well as our Facebook. Those handles are nothing but Niners. There are a couple of you out there that are watching right now and you're viewing from Facebook. Welcome back. I hope you guys allowed access to StreamYard so that way when you type up your messages, we can see your name, okay, instead of it just saying Facebook user. Randomly throughout the show, we will click on messages and show them at the bottom here on the ticker, all right? So your message can pop up with your image and your name if you want, but you have to allow access to StreamYard, okay? Guys, if you forget any of the social media pages that I said, have no fear, the website is here. It is www.nothingbutniners.com, your one-stop shop for any and everything 49ers from us here at Nothing But Niners. Perry has been cranking out a couple of articles, so you guys make sure you get over there and check those out. All of our different social media platforms are there, and we have a page dedicated to you guys. You guys are sending us the images. You're sending us you and your game day attire, your cars, your children, your pets, your fingernails. The ladies are getting busy right now, man. Fingernails and toes are correlating with the 49ers, the red and the gold, and it's looking all good. Oh, y'all ladies, man, shout out to y'all. Keep the pictures coming, okay? They're sending them via email, and they're on the website on a fan page, okay? But, guys, the email address, if you want to submit those things, nbniners@nothingbutniners.com. Again, that is nb9ers@nothingbutniners.com. I'm your guy, 49ers Mike _NFL, and right now my man is here, Wayne Breezy.
Let's go! Hey, I got 5 on it. 5 more days, baby. 5 more days. You see the hand? We got 5 rings. About to make it one for the pinky, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
Time to add some jewelry to the other hand now, right? That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what we at. So, man, listen, man. Nick is going to be jumping in here in a little bit. He was out there chasing Bambi and whatnot, so we'll wait for we'll wait for Nick to get back up in here. But until then, we're going to hold it down, man. There's a lot of stuff going on. And I know right before we started the show, other than my DD, you touched on something, man, that you heard in the media today. Now, we told you guys that media, they used to call it Media Week or Media Day and all that. Now they're calling it, I don't know what they're calling it, but it's the same thing. Every day there's a bunch of, obligations that people have to go and sit in front of the press and just let them ask them a bunch of questions. And so there are a couple of things that I took away from it today. I wanted to ask Breezy about one. He saw something. It wasn't from the 49ers, though. Talk on it, brother.
Hey, man. Look, man, the interview with Frank Clark went down a little something like this. He was giving respect to the defensive line. He trained with Buckner and Armstead, the guys on the line, and it was all cool. Then we got to this guy's name. I think his name is D Ford. Yeah, that's his name. He got to D Ford, and he said that he wasn't too fond of D Ford. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying to myself, did he just say what he said? Did he say I'm not fond of D Ford? And if he did, was that the right word that he meant to say? I'm not sure if he understands what fond mean. Maybe he meant to say familiar, because it would make sense if he says I'm not familiar with D Ford because he never played against D Ford probably. I'm sure that the Seahawks played the Chiefs at some point, love the gray fitted. But my point is, I think he was straight up disrespecting D Ford, bro. And my initial tweet after I seen that was, D Ford's face is going to be like this because he's going to feast on some quarterback. And with that being said, Frank Clark just dug his own grave because that cat is going to be a non-factor on Sunday. You can sit there and name, there's only one defensive end that gave us problems all season. I'm gonna let y'all guess who that guy is. I'll give you a hint though. We seen him twice this year. I'm gonna give you a hint. We seen him.
I got the answer. I don't know if you're waiting for it in the chat. I know what you're gonna say.
Why don't you tell us the answer, Mike?
That clown ass Clowney, man. You know who it is.
It's not Clowney, bro.
Oh, it wasn't Clowney?
It's not Clowney.
I'm talking about my man from the Arizona Cardinals.
I'm talking about your boy from Arizona Cardinals, Chandler Jones. He's the only guy that we have not been able to contain. Okay? Only guy. Now, our line wasn't super strong, right? Our line wasn't super together. Our line was coming off of injuries and plugging and playing or whatever. But that man had his way twice. I guarantee you, the league leading sack rushers. What did they do against us in the NFC Championship, bro? The league leading sack rushers.
I don't remember seeing them out there.
They didn't have one sack. I don't even know if they had a fucking tackle.
I know that we didn't have any pressures given up, bro. They couldn't do anything. It's hard to do that with 8 passes. Come on now, I got to shoot them some bail, bro. We only passed the ball 8 times. How they gonna get a pressure or a sack,
bro? Hey, I'm
playing devil's advocate. I got to do it. I got to do it.
Hey. Their job is to get to the quarterback. That's all they're supposed to do. They couldn't get to the quarterback, whether we dropped back, whether we didn't. Let's talk about it. All right, let's start afresh. In the beginning of the game, we had 6 passes. First drive, 6 passes. What did they do? They fresh. 6 passes. They did nothing. The first sack that came against Jimmy Garoppolo was because he took off out of the backfield and got tackled from behind. That's really a tackle. But because it's behind the line of scrimmage, we'll call it sack. But guess who that was? Nobody know the guy's name. That's my point. It wasn't Smith or Smith. All I'm saying is there has not been a great defensive end other than Clowney off the drug game and then Chandler Jones on them games that really gave us a problem. What did we do against Everson Griffin and them guys? We passed more than 8 times that game, but I ain't hearing nothing from them. Look, man, I'm not going to take anything away from Kansas City, but their defense will be a non-factor. I can guarantee that. I'm going to buy this Kyle Shanahan hat right now.
All right. Oh, so you're going to get one of the ugly ones, Jones, huh?
Ugly. I like trucker hats.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm just talking because it's just red with the
little patch, right?
So like my big ass head, I get that in my size, and it's gonna look like somebody just flicked something on me, bro. It's just not a big deal right there. You know what I'm saying? But so I think I'll be honest with you, man. The worst part about this guy talking junk. All right, so let me go back even further. I do think he was taking shots at D Ford. I don't think he meant to say familiar. He said fond of. It's a 4-letter word, and it's something that people hear all the time. I don't think you mistake that with familiar. And he was shouting out the guys that he worked out with while they were out in Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? How all the defensive linemen from the Niners and the Seahawks got together out there and they did their thing. And I don't know what Ford did to Clark. I don't understand what. I know that he went over there thinking, all right, I'm replacing him, right? And I wouldn't think it was a shot if it weren't for what he said in the AFC Championship game. Following the game, he said, I told y'all we was coming. They can't stop us. They said that he was the man and we sent his ass home early. And then he said, we don't jump off sides over here. Come on, man. What was the last impression of our guy Ford in Kansas City? It was him jumping off sides in that game and costing him a trip to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like he's taking a shot at my man. Like, and I don't understand where it's coming from. They have nothing to do with each other. So
I can't call it, Mike. Like if he's supposed to be getting at the offensive line and how they're not going to stop him. Like that I would have been okay with that. You know what I mean? But this dude's coming and taking shots at another defensive end that he's filling in for, who's like got nothing to do with the Kansas City Chiefs. Even Andy Reid gave props to D Ford.
And the worst part is you tick off Ford. He's not the one that's going to suffer the repercussions for it.
You get what I'm saying?
He's getting his quarterback messed up. I'm trying not to curse, but you know what I want to say. He going to have Ford on that boy's head, man. What is he thinking?
We need StreamYard to get a beat button, a censor button, so that way I could just you know what I'm saying?
Because, man, like I don't understand the purpose and what he's doing. Like you just you're poking the bear. I know we got an NB small bear over there, but you poking the other bear on the other side.
Small bear, and I think Ford is a grizzly bear. Look, you're going to awaken a monster, okay? And I try to tell cats, Ford is a different type of player. His mentality is a little bit different than everybody else's. He's smooth, calm, and collected. He goes out there and does stuff swiftly. But if this guy turns into a wrecking machine, yeah, Mahomes, you ain't running to the right side. I can tell you that right now. You better roll that ass out to the left because
he's so focused, bro. Did you see his presser yesterday?
I didn't see his presser,
bro.
I saw the other guys' pressers today, but
it's all business. It's all business. It's all business right now, man. It's short, sweet, concise. Like, who's the worst cook on the team? They're trying to ask him fun questions. My man don't want to hear it. Me.
Oh, you was telling me about that. That's right.
Yeah. I'm the worst cook. I don't eat for taste. I eat for what was the word he said? Like nutrients, like for meal prep, like it was like he eat with a purpose. I can't remember the word that he used. Damn, it's slipping my mind.
You said it last night on the show, and that junk was crazy.
And then you're gonna come out after that and start poking the bear. Like what are you thinking, man? Let's see if Tony heard any of this stuff. Let's get my guy Tony in here. Tony is still on vacation, still out there sipping Mai Tais on the beach. What's going on, man? How you doing over there?
What's up? I'm good.
This is the longest birthday celebration I've ever seen, man.
You're only 40 once.
Yeah, that's what they tell me. So listen, bro, did you hear what Frank Clark is saying about D Ford?
Please. He needs to stop. He needs to stop. The whole thing with he's the best defensive end the Niners are going to face all year, which is crock of you know what, and how he's ripping him for allegedly the penalty, but it's not his place to say anything. He wasn't on the team, so keep your mouth shut.
There it is.
This is bad, bro. I just don't know why he keeps coming at Ford like that. I don't know what his purpose is. We don't jump off sides over here.
I said it like, a couple of days ago, like when I just came out here. They're putting so much pressure on themselves by them constantly running their mouth. It's not good. It's really not good.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the team does. It's like, are they trying to hype themselves up? Are they trying to get into this? Like,
you remember the story about Green Bay? And we wasn't hearing anything about Green Bay. And then after Green Bay got beat, you started hearing stuff. Yo, these guys were trying to hype themselves up, but they were scared. Like that's the stuff that was coming out. Like they were nervous about that particular game. So they were doing everything in their possibility to get themselves psyched and ready to play a juggernaut. I'm gonna say this, show. And I don't even know what the hell we talking about on tonight's show, but I'm gonna say this right here. All I know is I would not want to face a team that came successfully out of a gauntlet, went on a winning tear toward the end of the season, battled out to win their division, destroyed 2 NFC teams in the motherfucking playoffs. I mean, destroyed them. And now they're proving to the world that I don't got to beat you passing the ball. So, Kansas City's defense right now should do what the 49ers defense is doing. Keep your mouth shut, show up, show out. That's it. That's what they should do. But that's not what they're doing. That's not what they're doing. And I'm not even talking about just Frank Clark. It's even some of the other guys on that defense that feel like, they just got stuff they want to get off their chest or blah, blah, blah. We ain't seen y'all since last year, bro. I mean, we playing the preseason, but that don't count. So y'all have not seen, the Chiefs have not seen this particular team. They have not seen this offense. They have not, their defense hasn't faced this offense, and their offense hasn't faced this defense. So on my show prior, when my man said that they were going to put up 41 points on this defense, I lost my stuff on national camera because I don't think that any team other than the Saints was going to be able to score 40 points. And the only reason why the Saints put up 40, you can say Drew Brees this, Drew Brees that. Yeah, he's great. Our defense wasn't intact. Our defense is full-fledged, injury-free, ready to ball out in the biggest game of their motherfucking lives. You cannot tell me that anybody is going to put up more than 20-something points against this defense. And that's stretching it. That's stretching it. I don't care if his name is Jesus Christ. It ain't happening. It's not. It's not happening. It's not. Not against this defense. You know why, Mike? You know why, Nick? You know why, Tony? Because it's our business. Our business. It's been our business.
Hey man, he's fired up, Nick. He's on one tonight, man.
I see that as soon as I come in. I'm like, okay.
And this all started with the Frank Clark still throwing shots at our boy D Ford. I mean, so Wayne just started it with a quick question. Do you think he meant to say, I'm not familiar with him? He said, I'm not fond of him. He gave shout outs to everybody else on the defensive line. He's like, but I'm not fond of D Ford. And he just kept moving. And people were trying to shoot him bail like, oh, that's not what he meant to say.
No, that's what he meant to say. You already heard him say. He also came out and said they've never faced a defensive end like him. Do you not know that you played in Seattle, bro, and you played us 2 times a year? Like on average?
And he was a non-factor. The guy that in the middle was causing the problems. The guy in the middle.
He had one good game against Joe Staley. And other than that, it was just like, dude, I don't know. I don't know. He's just, you know what, though? I like it because everybody else is like calm, cool, and collected on that team. And he's a hothead and he's going to come out like he's top-notch, whatever he is. And he's going to flank like he's or basically fluke on what he's going to be able to do. So, you know, let him look. I like the way our boys are right now, man. They're all like chill, like happy, like they're not even feeling any pressure.
And all right, so I do want to talk about this because Shanahan mentioned something on what was it I was listening to? I don't know if it was KMBR, if it was something from Radio Row, but he said that late last year, or maybe his first year, they made it a point to go out and get good guys that they wanted the locker room that wasn't going to be shaken by losing, wasn't going to be shaken by winning, and stay even keeled all the way through. And he said at one point we were losing so much we started to question, do we have too many of these kind of guys? Like, do we need nastier guys in here? Because they didn't seem to care about losing. Like, not that they didn't care, they just weren't upset by it. He was wondering if maybe it was too much. And so that's been echoing in my head since I heard that. Then I see Frank Clark like just out there, like just poking the bear, right? Just I'm the man. We know how good our defense is, and yes, we don't have to talk. They don't have to talk. But y'all don't want to see them talking just a little bit of smack. Y'all don't want to see them like sounding just a little bit confident. Like they're just like,
they are confident. You know what they're confident in, Mike? They confident in their smiles. Listen, did you see Nick Bosa's interview, bro? That young bear was just like, yeah, man. Yeah, like that's the best I heard him talk all season. It's like, yo, he's a
what he sound like.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. Yeah. I'm. You know, it's gonna be like, you know, it's cool, man. Yeah, I'm really blessed to be in this situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo, he gave that to one of his idols, bro. Yo, he's from Miami, bro. Him and Michael Irvin was dapping it up. Dirk Irvin done co-signed that cat. Irvin, man, he didn't even go to his high school. See, I watched some stuff. What I'm saying,
no. Irvin was mad that he didn't go to the U.
Miami, yeah.
They went to the same high school.
Went to the high school. It was the U.
Yeah, they went to the same high
ended up
school.
going
He was mad that he didn't commit to the U.
So I'm the only one that doesn't want to see these guys.
No, because you know why? Because
I haven't seen it all year.
This team isn't one to talk smack. They show it on the field.
Bam.
And what I think Kansas City is doing, the people that are talking crap, is trying to build themselves up and give themselves confidence of what they're about to play. Like I just truly think our team is okay with it. I think our team knows that we deserve to be there. Like they had plans to be there. Where Kansas City, on the other hand, is kind of reminding me of Green Bay and that fake being that fake, like, oh, I'm, oh, we get to go back to California. Like we get revenge. Like, who cares? And at the end of the day, you're going to face up against another man, and whoever imposes their will on you the most is going to win this football game.
All right. And I agree with that. But all right, let me see if all right, we've heard Richard Sherman a couple of times this year go to the microphone and snap. What else do I got to do to get respect? We have heard him do this before. We have heard him go out there and big up his players. And there's times that he does it with like a little bit of nastiness in his voice, and then he'll apologize to the media right afterwards. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have been talking like that, right? Like he's done that. That's on me. That was selfish of me, right? We don't want to see a little bit of that right now, Tony. Like you don't want to see like even Richard Sherman. We
saw a little bit of it from Emmanuel Sanders about Jimmy Garoppolo. He's like, everybody wants to compare him to Peyton Manning and Tom Brady and everything else. Like, give the dude a break. It's his first year starting, and he's in the Super Bowl. Like, he literally said that. And everybody that talks trash on Kittle or on Garoppolo, the team has backed him. They've just backed themselves in a different way. It's the IGYB thing. I got your back. Like, that's what it is. And it's you don't need to talk smack to the other team to know what you are, because you're feeding into that. You're feeding into that stuff. Just like Kyle Shanahan said about going into these, interviews, and it's going to be all these media and things. Take a step back, take it in a little bit, but don't savor it yet. Until it's over, then savor everything. Like, just don't let things get you sidetracked at what your mind and your goal is set at. And talking trash to another team is doing that. You're feeding into it. Like, why feed into it? Just be low, level, even keeled, and just do what you got to do on the football field. Talk your shit after the game. Like, that's just, to me, all that shit talking, if you lose, is nothing. It's nothing. And I remember when you said we need more dogs. I think we have dogs. It's just they're dogs on the field, and they're people other than that. And they just don't talk that shit. And I respect that, actually. Because when you play games, right, Mike? When you play games, or when you play sports, any of you, Tony, Mike, Wayne, when you play a sport, how do you get your mindset right? You don't be like, oh, you don't go out there and say, oh, I'm going to talk shit or this or that. Like, I don't. Like, I'd rather get my mindset on what I need to do and focus on me compared to worrying about somebody else.
I'm gonna answer last. Tony, you go ahead, man, because you've been kind of quiet. When you played football, you didn't talk smack before the game?
I never talked. I never talked shit. I never, like, when I coached, I never had my guys talk shit. Their jobs were to be focused, prepared, locked in on their responsibilities, what they needed to do their job, and we win. You want to talk after you win, after your play is your talking, you do that, go right ahead. But if you ever notice Sherman's comments when he blacks out like that, it's always after a game. So I honestly think this team is so locked in and so focused on what they need to do, and they're so prepared that this right here is just like a show. They're just going through the motions because they have to. They have to spend time with the media. It's all things that's part of the equation of the Super Bowl. So if you listen today, that there was a couple times in I think one was to Kittle, and there was another one to Sherman where the media actually tried to bait them to say something, and they both totally just, downplayed it and just continued talking, being fair, professional about the game. And that's the difference. And I'm not going to say it's from the locker room. I'm going to say it's from the top. I'm going to say it's coming from John Lynch. John Lynch is telling you guys, I'm a Super Bowl champion. I know what it's like. I know what we need to be like. Ignore this. Stay focused. Have fun. Enjoy this time. Sunday's game day. Put your talking on the field and perform. You guys are prepared the whole week before. The whole game plan was installed, offense and defense. This week is about you. You protect the team. What does it say on the wall, the locker room? Protect the team. Do you, whatever. And, these guys are ready. They've been ready. They've been ready before they even landed in Miami. So now it's all about going through the motions. They have their last couple walkthroughs. their meetings, and boom, it's game day. And that's when you're going to see this team respond. Until then, it's all motions.
So, Wayne, we heard from Nick. We heard Tony. I'm not here to do the talking. I'm here to get mentally ready. You the same way, man? Did you play any competitive sports? Or
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
look, do you play spades?
I play football too. Spades, football. Now, so spades is different, bro. So we
No, it's not.
No.
Yeah,
It's totally
spades is
different, bro. 'Cause
You're not
spades,
opposing your will on somebody else. Like
I am too, motherfucker. Spades, I'm opposing, and I'm talking. But football is different because you're depending on your other comrades, right? Like everybody gotta be on the same thing. Spades is like one partner. Spades, you'll get a hand. You might got all 13 books. You know what I'm saying? When you got all 13 books, if you don't talk, you the corniest spades player in the world. Football's different.
Right, but I'm saying it's not physical.
Right, but
That's
what I'm saying is like as far as like talking smack, spades, absolutely any card game, right? But football though, I put my music on. I didn't even want to talk to nobody on my damn team. Be honest with you, I had my locker. I was cool. I was far. I was a running back, so I wanted to make sure I was super focused. Back then, it was doggy style all day. The Chronic, Mob Deep, you name it. Like I don't think they even make music amp for you to get amped right now to get your mindset. They listen to some bull crap. But what I'm saying is that's what I did, yo. And I tell you what, on that field, we was all in sync. I don't know how, I don't know what, but I was focused, man. So talking stuff wasn't it. It was always about me. And even in my musicianship, it's not about like talk. It's just about showing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't gotta talk. I let the fingers do the talking. I let the voice do the singing. I let my play on the field do the thing. This 49ers team is more mature than the Kansas City team. And they're the younger team. Go figure. I mean, the 49ers are the younger team. Go figure.
I guess, I don't know. I guess I'm wired different. I'm not
You're
talking.
You're not wired different.
No, listen, because I'm not talking junk. When I play football, I'm not talking junk in the locker room with my teammates or whatever. Like you got, I'm getting hyped. I'm finding what I got to do to get myself ready, right? But as soon as I step on that field, one person on the other side look at me the wrong way. What's up? Yeah, we coming. Like we here. You know, like I don't know.
Yeah, but our guys do that.
But that's not talking smack.
That's not talking smack.
He's been throwing shots.
We're talking about throwing pressers,
D Ford for 2 weeks now.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. You're talking about when you step on the field, you're gonna take it out. You're not doing it like he's doing off the field. Our players do that on the field right now. You've seen Emmanuel Sanders last week, like get off me, push the dude away from him. Mm-hmm. You see Debo do it. Like you see them on the field do that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. But it makes no sense to do it at a press conference because there's nothing you're gonna do.
It's different.
It's different. Like I'll talk shit on the football field while I'm playing.
Like it's you know what?
But I'm not gonna talk shit as a press conference because it's just like when boxers go up and they talk smack at the thing, right? Some will talk smack, some won't. Some will just sit there. Mike Tyson used to be the quietest dude, but as soon as he got in the ring, he gonna knock you the F out. Like that's just the way it was. And that's what D Ford is saying. You heard D Ford with that little smart thing the other night where he was like, you know, I don't eat for taste, I eat for performance or whatever. Because no matter how much shit you talk, if you don't perform, it ain't worth it. So impose your will on somebody on the field. You lost sound for some reason.
Oh, I'm on mute. My bad. I'm sorry. I'm saying that's the one thing I don't only talk junk if you win. That's weak. Anybody could do that. While we're in it though, like now that's like you said, when you get on the field, that's different.
Right.
Talk junk whether or not we win or lose. I can't control the outcome, but I'm here right now and I'm gonna do my part and I'm gonna talk smack the whole time, bro. Like, oh man. All right. I get it though. I do get it. The microphone at the podium. All right. I see what y'all are saying. I get it now.
Yeah, right. I think our guys do talk trash on the field.
Absolutely.
I think they do.
Well, we know they do. We hear it. Like,
you know what I mean? Like, I think that, you know, they do it on the field. So there's a difference between doing it at a podium and doing it on the field. And I think we have that dog at the right time. I think we have it on the field when it matters the most.
I think it's turned on when it needs to be turned on.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with that.
So there were a couple of pressers that happened today. We saw Eric Armstead out there, Richard Sherman again. Kyle Shanahan had his moment. Anything stand out from you guys from any of these that you want to touch on for this evening? And then if not, we're about halfway through here. We'll get to some scheme stuff or start talking about the upcoming game, actually.
I'm ready to go into the game, bro.
Pressers today for me. The Kittle thing was funny.
Of course it was.
I don't know if you guys talked about that or not.
Nah.
About the German trying to get him to curse.
Yeah.
That was really funny. And he's like, no, absolutely not. Like, it was funny. Like,
they're a bunch of old men. Have some fun, damn it. Like, let loose a little bit.
Yeah, but he's not going to curse at the podium.
Kittle, we wanted them to curse in German, though.
Yeah. But still, I mean, there's people.
Somebody post that. Thank you.
But
got you.
Other than that, I mean, Kyle Shanahan talking about his, the whole thing about the Atlanta thing again, obviously. But other than that, I mean, I didn't catch all of them today, so I didn't catch Armstead, so I don't know what he said.
Right. What about you? Anything for you, Tony? Did you see any of the pressers and have any thoughts on them?
I just listened to Shanahan's. That was it, really. And, Shanahan's was basically simple. I mean, he spoke about, throwing with Jimmy and stuff like that, and how he flipped out on Saleh versus the Vikings and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's nothing really that stood out as far as this game. It was just more like one of those common and quite Q&As, if you will. But I don't know, man. This team, there's something about this team, how their body language, their demeanor, they're ready. I think they're ready.
One thing that Shanahan said today that I heard that was a little different than what I had previously heard from him. I don't remember who it was. They asked him about the Atlanta play call and, giving up that lead and everything. And he said, they were like, do you think about it more since you're here back in the Super Bowl? He's like, I don't think about it more. I thought about it the way I always did. I got to stop looking at the screen. Nick is – and he was like, I thought about it like I always did. He goes, and there's not a lot that I would change. And that had been his stance since then. Like, I felt like I called the perfect play, and that play was going to work, and it would have if we executed it the right way. That had been his stance for a long time. Today, he said something a little different on it. He was like, he said, what did he say? He said, it resulted in a sack, so, yeah, I wish we ran it instead. I don't get that. I don't understand why he's saying that now after all these years when he was fine.
He said that before. He said, "Could I have run it? Maybe." Like,
right, but he never said, "I wish I did," though. Like, I don't know if he was just trying to appease the press this time or what, but because before he was like, "I called the play." Like, being aggressive was what got me there. I'm not going to change who I am. Like, he had been standing by his morals, and I respected that a lot more than we got a sack, so I should have run it there. What? No, that's not how it works. I don't know. It was something a little different. It's
talking about that game. There was something else that stood out to me that he said, and he said one thing he learned was, going forward, was no lead is ever good enough. He said, I got into Robert Saleh when he pulled out the starters against Minnesota. First he said Green Bay, and he was like, oh, no, never mind. It was Minnesota. He's like, and then I looked at the time and looked at things like that. He's like, but I dug into them and that's why the starters came right back out. Remember I said they came in one play? The backups came in one play, and then all of a sudden all the starters were out again in that game.
Remember, I was flipping out. I remember when it happened because the backups got the sack on second down. It was Zettel that got the sack. And then third down came, and the starters are back out there. I'm like, what the hell just happened? Like, let them finish the drive. What's going on? Let them finish the drive. And so we found out today why that happened. He said that he looked up, he saw the backups were out there, and he went crazy on Saleh. And Saleh is telling him, like, look, we got like a 3-score lead here. They don't have enough time to come back. And he was like, oh. But the starters had already went back out there and then off the drive. It was just weird to see how that all went down like that.
That means Kyle Shanahan is all gas, no brakes. So that means in this Super Bowl, not to cut you off, brother, but in this Super Bowl, ain't going to be none of that. None of it. I don't care if we up by 40 points. He going to try to get 61. Like that's Kyle. I'm trying to tell you Kyle's mindset. He done lost a Super Bowl because he went on some. He just lost the Super Bowl, right? I mean, the players lost the Super Bowl, and you could blame the play calling, but I mean, come on, man. they was chewing up the Patriots, man. I would have threw the ball too. It's just that his offensive lineman allowed Matt Ryan to get sacked.
I don't understand why the defensive coordinator doesn't get the shit for that, because
he gave up all the
They
points.
gave up 28.3 lead. 28-3 lead. And
that's Dan Quinn.
Because the last drive it goes to Kyle Shanahan. Well, if your defense would have did its job.
Well, thank the Falcons for losing that, because that Kyle is now our coach.
Right.
And I'm glad. But man, I didn't get to see any of the pressers. I did hear a little bit of Kyle Shanahan's. But like I said, my students wouldn't let me listen because they needed all my attention, and they're like mini adults. I can't figure out why 17.
There weren't a lot of nuggets to be taken away today, so it's not that big. But Dre has a good point here. He said, and that got Kwaski nicked up, right? So we know that Kwaski dinged himself on that Richard Sherman interception when he collided with Adams, right? We don't know the extent of that, so we're just kind of waiting out and to see. He hasn't been on any injury reports or anything, so we have to assume that he's fine, right? But this is a good point, though. In that game, it was a little different. The Packers were slowly coming back, and I still think there was like 4 minutes or so left in that game where it wasn't quite out of reach, but we still had a two-score lead on them. Do you guys think that could be something that comes back to bite us in the butt?
No, it's good. It's a different game. You talk about the injury to Tart?
Yeah, because that happened in the last game. That happened in the Packers game. Richard Sherman interception.
It's been 2 weeks, Mike, and we haven't heard any injury news as of yet, other than Tevin Coleman, them being unsure about him. That's it.
I thought Kwaski got hurt when he went across when him and Bosa hit somebody.
It was on the Richard Sherman
side on that play in the middle, and he got scraped up, and then because after that he got up he was on his feet on the interception of Richard Sherman, and then told Richard Sherman to go down. So I think Kwaski's rib injury happened way earlier in the game, like the third or early in the fourth, when him and Bosa collided to make a tackle when he was playing in the box. But
either way, I think Kwaski's good, bro. I think he's good to go, man. I truly do. It's a rib. Kittle's gonna be like, dude, torn labrum, and he's gonna be like, you're right, Kittle. I got you.
That's something I want to ask you guys. And I know what a torn labrum feels like, obviously. But do you think that is bad timing for that to come out?
Nah, man. I mean, he knows the severity of his labrum.
No, I'm saying like for people to target.
They target Kittle's labrum, and he finds another way to beat you. I mean, like, what do you?
Well, I'm saying when they're going to tackle him, pulling his arm, just do you think that that'll make people think twice about how they're going to tackle him or bring him down with that late of a?
I'm sure they'll try to use that to their advantage, right? But Kittle's going to enforce his will on just about anybody he plays against. He's going to make sure that he's putting the hit on you opposed to you putting the hit on him. So I'm not worried about that. I don't think we should worry about that.
He wears a harness anyway.
He wears a harness.
Kittle wore a harness the whole season.
Not only does he wear a harness, he wears the pads for his ribs too. So he's been banged up. And I do understand what Nick is saying that, like, in the biggest game of the year, now you're telling everybody about an injury that you have kind of just hanging around. Like, what's up with that? But he also said he has no plans on even getting a corrective surgery. He's just letting it heal naturally. So that kind of tells me that he's all right with it. Like, it's not you can have it like I never had surgery to replace the ligaments and stuff in my knee. So all that shit that I tore, it's still just it healed naturally. So it's all there. I mean, you don't have to get them done, but
yeah, but he said there was separation off the glenoid. Like, that's surgery. Like,
it can't be that bad if he's playing through it.
I mean, it might hurt.
Tears, like, there's some slight tears that you don't have to get surgery for, but if you have separation, that means the actual thing is ripped off the bone. So that's like, I don't know. That's just it's crazy that he's not. I mean, it depends on the severity of it, though, obviously, but I still wouldn't have said anything about it because they could have just thought he's wearing a brace just to protect something. But now you want to go out and say, oh, well, I've been playing the whole year with a torn labrum.
Right.
I hear you, bro. Like I said, it's to their advantage now that they have information like that. The question is, will it affect us? I doubt it.
All right. I like it. All right, so let's move on. Let's start talking about this game, man. I mean, what side of the ball are we starting with here? Are we gonna talk about their team? We're gonna talk about our team. Are we talking about one side of our team against their team? How are we doing this, fellas? What's the measure here that we want to do this with?
Let's go their team, then our team.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, are we going to do their defense against our offense? Like, how do we take advantage of their defense, or you want to know about how we take advantage of their offense?
Let's do that. The defense against our offense. How can their defense stop our offense, or how can our offense take advantage of their weak ass defense?
That's good. That's good because we talked about Frank Clark here and all that. So let's start up front with the pass rush that they have. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys the floor. I don't want to just sit here and start talking and rambling. But Frank Clark has been going off about what's going on with him, and they don't have the numbers that they had from the Ford and Houston year last year. But they do get after quarterbacks because their offense kind of puts opposing teams in the position where they have to get out there and start throwing, right? So do they have a pass rush that you guys not respect, but do they have a pass rush that you think we need to be concerned about?
Go ahead, Tony.
Can you hear us?
I don't think he can hear us because he just typed in the other thing. The service is horrible where he's at.
Okay.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
You weren't saying anything. I didn't hear you saying anything.
No, but
we can hear you now.
I hear you guys like very, very low. Like I can barely hear you. What did you ask?
The Chiefs defense. What are your thoughts on the Chiefs defense for this year? And how can our offense take advantage of it?
I think the Chiefs defense, you have to account for Tyrann Mathieu and the defensive lineman, Chris Jones. I think Chris Jones they could scheme Chris Jones out of it, and I think they could scheme Mathieu out of it by going away from them. Listen, Frank Clark, he can get a pressure or two. I'm not going to say, Joe Staley dominated him his whole career, but other than that, I mean, those two players are their main guys, and I honestly think Debo and Kittle could take advantage of the mid-level of their defense between like the linebackers and the secondary. Their defense was exposed a lot. I mean, I think who was it? The Texans went up 24-0 on them with ease. Was that like 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the Texans that put 24 on them quick. But I'm not worried about our offense versus that defense because Kyle Shanahan versus Steve Spagnuolo, it's favored to us like by a lot because he's gonna have them defensive players like playing on their heels instead of on their toes with all the motions and the misdirections and the orbit motions, the jet sweep mode, the fake jet sweeps, the handoff, whether it's an inside zone, outside zone, power run, whether it shows as an outside zone, but they're pulling the backside guard to kick out the last man on the line of scrimmage, and Mostert's free down the field. Our offense, our run game is light years ahead of their defense as far as like Spagnuolo. But, I mean, listen, it's why they play the game. They have to play Sunday, so we're going to see what it's about. But, I mean, I saw a stat that their defense, that people are trying to say their defense, don't sleep on their defense, don't sleep on their defense. They added Terrell Suggs in the latter part of the season because I know we put a claim in for him, but they wound up being awarded him. So, with that being said, you have Clark and Suggs coming off the edge versus defense. Suggs is not a speed guy; he's more of a power guy. Clark, if anything, is your speed guy, and then they have that 6'7" guy from Connecticut who rotates in on like nickel and dime situations for Kansas City. He's got a funky name. I don't remember off the top of my head, but I honestly feel that Kyle's gonna have this team play their defense playing on their heels instead of their toes or the balls of their feet.
All right. So I'm looking up some numbers for this defense, and they're actually they finished the season with 42 sacks, right? Of that 42, now this is what I found interesting about this, right? Of that 42, I'm still looking here. Hold on, give me one more second. That's Suggs, so I'm not going to count that. One more there. 7.5 of those came from their secondary. All right, so that's a couple of blitzes and things like that. You have Matthew that has 2. You have Fuller that has 1.5. Like they send guys from all over the place. Is this something that plays into the hands of the Niners? Do we expect them to do a lot of blitzing with that secondary? This is the Super Bowl. You're going to put everything you got out there, right? So how concerned are we about them coming after us like that? Because the guys up front – go ahead.
If they're going to come after us and they're going to blitz us, Kyle's going to run the ball. And he's going to gas them when they blitz. So it's kind of like pick your poison with them. I mean, they're probably going to send Matthew. They're probably going to send one of their linebackers in like a 5-man pressure. But
now, if you add in the linebackers, that sack number goes from the 7.5 to like 12.5. Because Ragland has 2. Where the other linebacker? Hitchens.
What does Kitchens have?
Hitchens has 2.
Hitchens has.
Yeah. Looking at where the other linebackers go.
I think Wilson is the other guy.
Watts, Suggs. I told you guys Suggs has 1 already. So, yeah, that's it for the sacks. Like they send it from everywhere, man. They send from left side, right side. Oh, there's Wilson also. Wilson has 1.5. Damian Wilson, yeah. So they send them from all over the place, man. So it's interesting to look at the numbers and see how they do it that way. You know what I'm saying?
I think they're gonna. I mean, listen. This team is vulnerable. Okay, they're vulnerable on the edges in the run game. That's number one. Which, if you counteract that, that's our strength. We attack the edges in our outside zone, the best in the league, possibly. What the hell was I going to say? The one – damn, I forgot. So if he wants to – I don't think they're going to come flying out of the gate and blitz right off the bat. I think they're going to let Kyle, run his script, see what they do. They're going to make their adjustments, and Kyle's going to make his adjustments. And that's where you might see the 5-man pressures come in. Whether it's off of a nickel, off of a corner, the slot corner, whether it's a linebacker, whether – it could be the opposite side safety, or it could even be a corner blitz. And, the linebackers and safeties have to cover that zone if they're in zone. Yeah, but I don't know. I just don't see, remember how we talked about Green Bay? We don't see something on film that jumps off and says, holy crap, we really need to watch this. I don't see that with their defense. I think their defense could be not toyed with, but not manhandled. But I think Kyle, with his play calling, and especially if he gets into his own, I think he can pretty much have his way as long as our front protects and, everyone does their responsibilities. And I spoke to you about this earlier, Mike, as far as everyone's saying, oh, they shut down Derrick Henry. We don't have a Derrick Henry. Our scheme is different. Our blocking scheme in our run game is different. You cannot compare them holding Derrick Henry to 64 yards and think that next week you're going to shut down Mostert. You're not going to do it. Our blocking schemes are different than what the Titans do. Titans are a power scheme. Yes, they'll run an outside zone. They'll pull a backside guard. But with that being said, the Titans aren't as creative offensively as we are, obviously, because we have Kyle Shanahan. So if they think they're going to come in and just do what they did versus the Titans and say, okay, we held him to 64, we can control Mostert and Breida and Coleman to 64, it's not going to see it happen.
So is there a part of the defense that scares you guys at all? 42 sacks is nothing to scoff at. I want to be completely clear here.
They get pressure on the quarterbacks in different ways. than what we're used to seeing. I'm not sure how many sacks we've had from other teams blitzing off the top of my head without looking up all the other teams, but this is something that they do like to do. Obviously, they're successful 7 times. That doesn't mean they only blitzed 7 times. They were just successful 7 times blitzing, getting sacks from other positions. So I think it's something that we have to hold accountable for, because we need to know who we leaving in to help block and who we sending out on quick screens or quick passes as well. I think Kyle will have them prepared for that, though. I mean, you want to think Honey Badger coming in on a safety blitz or a corner blitz off the end or whatever. We could counter it with the run. But will Jimmy? I guess my question is, will Jimmy recognize that? Like, how well is he at recognizing the blitzing if they do it? Is he able to call the audible? Is he able to change the play at the line of scrimmage because he's reading the defense? This might be just one of those games where we just see stuff we've never seen before. And we get to see him do those things. And we get to see the torch passed down to him where he has the keys to ride the range. You know what I'm saying? So I think they come out prepared. I'm not too worried about this defense. This defense struggled all season. They get Terrell Suggs and they do better playing against inferior teams. They play bullshit teams. So yeah, they should be better. They absolutely should be better. Like the numbers should be higher. They played teams that they should have beaten. The one team in that outlier will probably be the Patriots. And by then the Patriots stopped scoring points on offense. So at the end of the day, like, yeah, they got better. All right. And yeah, they won their games and blah, blah, blah. But man, I'm trying to tell you, man, they didn't, like Tony said, we could run 6-7 plays out of one formation. Like, it's, you think you've seen it, and then they move a guy in motion and you didn't see it. They got George Kittle lead blocking one way, pivots his foot, turns around, goes back and block the other way after they fake the handoff to the wide receiver. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's stuff that wasn't working in the beginning of the season, and then Kyle started dialing back, and then he started putting it back in, and all of a sudden, mid-season, you started seeing Deebo Samuel's run. They tried it in the beginning of the season. What do you do? Fumble. Yeah. And then in the middle of the season, you were like, oh, snap. They did it with Richard James. It was successful. So, hey, man, like, I don't think we should fear Kansas City's defense. Ain't no other team in the NFL fear Kansas City's defense. It's how do you contain them on offense? That's the question with the number one defense.
Let me ask you guys something. Real quick. Do you guys agree that we faced two better defense leading up to this point than what we're actually going to face on Sunday?
That's a great question.
On paper, yes.
What do you think about that, Nick?
On paper, yes.
I didn't hear what he said. I was laughing at what you wrote back to me.
Do you think that we have faced two better defenses in the playoffs so far than what we're going to face on Sunday?
Pass rush wise, I would probably give it to Green Bay.
Yeah, that's what
on the outsides. Interior, I'd probably give it to Minnesota. And yeah, I think both defenses we faced already are probably better than Kansas City's defense.
We put up 30 burgers on both of them boys.
And we could have put up 40 burgers.
And so that's going to take me to my next question, right? There's nothing out there that we look at and we say, oh man, this is whew, we got to worry about this. This is something that this is like their bread and butter. They're going to do this well, right? The Niners right now, they were number one against the pass. The run game, not so much. Some teams can get off on us with the run game, right? But the pass, we know what we do on defense. Okay, so they don't have one of those. They're good against this or that. They're just an team. You'll see who shows up. Isn't that more of a reason for them to get exotic and just blitz like crazy? You guys remember that year we were in preseason against the Saints and Sean Payton just kept blitzing the hell out of Alex Smith. Harbaugh got all pissed off. You guys remember that year? It was like, dude, this is preseason. What the hell are you doing? What's stopping the Chiefs from saying, hey, look, we got nothing to lose. We're here. Here we come. Like, you don't think they do something like that?
They blitz a lot with Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah.
I mean, they already blitz a ton. They're a lot of their pressure comes from blitzes, from blitz packages. It's not just that one up, line up in front of somebody and beat them type of pressure like ours, obviously. A lot of people are saying about our defense blitzing their offense, but Patrick Mahomes is actually better when being blitzed. And obviously you're taking a man out of coverage. So defensively, I mean, I think that they're just going to – they may have some wrinkles, obviously, but I think they're just going to – they play a lot of man. That's just what they do. They play a lot of man and they blitz. So I'll tell you what, I'll take Kyle Shanahan's offense against man any day of the week.
Yeah, you heard Emmanuel Sanders say it, right, Nick? He said, no, we just got to go out. They play a lot of man. We just got to go out there and beat our man. Like we beat our man, boom.
I think this game we're going to see pass to set up the run. I think that's what we're going to see. I think we're going to come out throwing the football.
I agree.
And
going to say that
and set up the run. And when they start blitzing, you're going to start eating them up with the run.
Yep.
I mean, that's what I really think is going to happen. But obviously, I'm not Nostradamus or anything like that. But I really think we're going to play the pass to the run this week. And they average 129.6 yards given up during the rush in the playoffs right now.
I'm going to
129.6.
I'm going to add to what Nick was saying. I think the first play of the game is going to be a play action bomb down the field. Why? They're going to stock the box. They're going to stack the box. They're going to have 8 people in the box, and somebody's going down the field, and they're going to beat their man because somebody's going to get lost in coverage, and boom, big yard down the field. It'll open up the game. As soon as they do that, we go back to running it. I think that is exactly how this game is going to be because that's what they're expecting. They're going to come out 8, maybe even 9 in the box, which is going to allow us to throw the ball, which means less blitzing.
I think that this team is built to you said I think we're better against man. Well, no, you didn't say better, but you said that you like us against man.
I would take our offense against man all day.
Right, no, but even in zone though, like these wide receivers are all smart. They know where the soft spots are in these zones also.
Yeah, they know where to sit down at. These
guys, our offense is really, really designed and made to get rid of the ball quickly. So even if you're blitzing, there's outs and there's hots and so there. I don't know how you stop this offense, guys. I'm about to get like really arrogant and really cocky over here, and I'm trying not to do that, but I just don't see it. Our guys get open quick. Kyle wanted guys with good feet. They put their foot in the ground and they create separation right off their break. Mm-hmm. And you do that whether it's zone or in man. Mm-hmm. And you're getting open, and that's why our team is so good with yards after the catch because they do it. So what, man? Look,
what an adjustment Kyle and Lynch made when he realized that his receivers couldn't get separation, and they went out and traded and got Emmanuel Sanders, and Dante Pettis went to the bench, and like what a mother freaking adjustment! Like
Debo came into his own.
Wow,
right? You just talked about it. Debo came into his own. They added Sanders in the middle of the season, and they stuck with Bourne, who's got the strong hands. Like, look, we're going to do what we got, right?
And he can get open. He gets open because he's open 90% of the times, and when he drops passes too, he's open. Yeah. He's just scared. Yeah. He's scared he's going to get cracked in zone.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think that's the way we attack him is quick slants. Like I really do in man coverage.
Talk your stuff.
I don't think we come out and we throw a deep ass bomb.
I do,
but I bet you that they line up with a one back set and run a slant to clear out the middle of the field to a Debo or an Emmanuel Sanders. I think Sanders has a really big game this week.
I put $5 if they come out with 8 in the box. It's play action down the field, Nick. I guarantee it.
Yeah,
if they're in their regular base D, slants all day. Because that's where does your boy like to throw that ball right in the middle of the zone in the field, and that's how we're gonna create it. But if they come out trying to stop the run, I think we should. The thing you said, Nick, was that Kyle Shanahan can run and pass out of the same formation part. That's the tricky part. So if we come out showing run, and they look like they're gonna try to defend the run, and he says hot 59 pancakes, it's going down the field.
If Tyron is too close to the box, If he's down there at the line of scrimmage,
Oh yeah,
they might take a shot. I can see them taking a shot then. I'm not gonna lie. I can see them taking a shot then. So we're getting ready to wrap this thing up here. We kind of talked about it really generically, guys. Is there any of you guys think that we don't put up 30 or more points in this game?
Oh yeah, I think we get 34 points. I got us going 34-37. One of the two. I know it's a weird score, but that's what I got.
What about you, Nick? You think we top 30?
Yeah, I think we top 30. I think we get about 40 to 45 points on them.
Yeah. And
that's not being cocky. That's just watching their defense and having the faith in what Kyle Shanahan can scheme, whether it be run, whether it be quick play action, slants, things like that. Like I said, I think this is going to be a more pass heavy game for us to set up the run, obviously, but I still think we eclipse like 130 yards rushing.
Oh,
Tony,
I think we eclipse like 500 yards of total offense this game. To be honest with you,
that boy on something over there. What were you doing now? You the deer antler spray. You was on it, huh? You was out.
Not me.
Tony, man, you think we get 30? You think we get 30 on Sunday? 30 or more? Yeah. Are you guys accounting for nerves for this young team? Wayne, you said it a couple minutes ago. We're younger than the Chiefs team, and I was listening to some pressers, and you heard these veterans saying, they tell you all the time, it's just another game. It's just another game. And you feel that way until you come out of the tunnel. When you come out the tunnel, you see the bright lights, right? Because the Super Bowl's played in the evening. They got the brightest of bright lights on you because they don't want to miss anything. And yeah, you played in a couple of playoff games, but now there's camera crews from every single news station, every single media outlet is all out there with their cameras and everything. And when you step out on the field, you see the flashes just continually going off in the crowd. It's nothing like any game you ever played in before. And you hear people they kept saying it's just another game, it's another game. And I felt that way until the moment we came out the tunnel. And then the nerves set in. Are y'all saying that we're going to get 30, and are you accounting for the nerves? This is a really, really young team. Are we accounting for the nerves of the Super Bowl, just slapping them in the face when they come out that tunnel?
I definitely think that the nerves are going to be there. But after that ball, the snap, after that kick, the ball is kicked off, I think the nerves settle. I know we're all hoping we get the ball on defense first, right? That's what we want. So hopefully we win the coin toss so we can go ahead and set it up the way we want to set it up. Usually we control our own destiny when we do that. And then there'll be nothing like this defense get on that field first. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. And don't let the first drive either end in a sack and go 3 and out or just go plain old 3 and out. Don't let it. Don't let that happen, because then the defense is locked and the offense just got to do their job. And it's going to be crazy when we witness the birth of the dynasty on national TV at the biggest game of the season. That's what we're going to be witnessing. And then every 49er fan and the motherfucking nation, empire, whatever you want to call it, bang, bang, Niner gang, every 49er fan can finally pull that monkey off their back. We can enjoy this 6th Super Bowl ring. Santa Clara is going to be lit, wherever they're going to have the parade. It's going to be crazy. And you know what the 49ers are going to do? They're probably going to go celebrate and then get prepared for next season, yo. Because it's all business with these guys. It's all business.
The last loss the 49ers suffered, they kicked the ball to the opposing. The opposing team started with the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And not the 49ers. Interesting. All right.
That was the last time we lost?
Yeah, that was the Falcons game. The Falcons started with the ball. They had the ball opening possession.
We beat ourselves in that game, dog.
Well, I mean, don't we normally defer anyway? We
like to get the ball back in the second half.
Yeah, we always defer.
When they win the toss, they want to kick it off to us. They defer.
Right. So any concerns about the nerves for the offensive players in particular? I think defense, it's all reactionary anyway, so I'm not worried about the defense. I know we're not talking about the defense right now. I am worried about this offense, though. We talk about Bourne not being focused sometimes, right? We know Debo leads the team by a mile.
Big game, Mike. Big game.
That's what I'm saying.
Key word for Bourne is big, my dude.
Oh,
When
okay.
it's-
I see what you're saying. He
when
rises
it's-
to the occasion.
Yeah, man. When it's big, it's on and popping.
You know, it's funny because everybody's talking about how the Niners are a young team. They don't have experience, Super Bowls, blah, blah, blah. You know, the Niners have more players that played in the Super Bowl than the Kansas City Chiefs do.
Absolutely. So experience is there.
And
Yeah.
all of them were on both sides of the spectrum. They won or lost.
Right.
So they know both ways.
There's like 6 or 7 guys on the team that have been to a Super Bowl and won or lost, or compared to 2, which is what's the dude's name? Terrell Suggs and somebody else. That's the only 2 that have Super Bowl experience on that Kansas City Chiefs team. So
Clark.
Was it Clark? Yeah.
Seattle.
Yeah, Clark. No, what? Wait, no, Clark wasn't there when they went to the Super Bowl, was he?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think his name was on
He was
that
a
list.
rookie. He was a rookie. I think it was his first year or second year. He was there with Sherman.
Yeah, because the way they listed it, there was only 2 guys, and it was like a weird name, like I don't know if it was Vanderbijen or whatever his name is. But yeah, it was just kind of interesting because there was like 7 guys on our team. You got obviously Garoppolo's been there. Emmanuel Sanders,
You got Garoppolo, Tevin Coleman, Emmanuel Sanders. You had Sherman. You have
Joe Staley.
Staley.
Joe Staley.
We got experience.
Kyle Nelson, the long snapper.
Oh yeah, Kyle Nelson.
Robbie Gold. No, Robbie Gold never.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
With Chicago, right? I think he was
Chicago. Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
So this team has experience at all levels of their team, whether it's offense, defense. But I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo is your biggest example. I mean, he sat and watched, technically, arguably one of the best to do it, and he's seen it as a winner and he's seen it as a loser. So it's.
And he got 2 rings.
I'm not worried about this stage. Yeah, I'm not worried about this stage being too big. And we had
Levine
our head
Toilolo.
coach was an offensive play caller. Our head coach was a play caller in Super Bowl. So it's not like the stage is too big for Kyle. So, I don't know.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up. What was that?
I didn't know Gold was there. I know
I don't know about Gold.
because the Bears weren't in the Super Bowl for mad long.
He was with the Bears for like 14 years or some shit like that.
I thought the last time the Bears went to Super Bowl was 85.
Yeah, it was like
No, they played versus the Colts.
yeah, dude. I was
They
like
played versus
20
the
then.
Colts.
19 maybe.
When was that?
Hold
What
on.
year was that?
Let me see. Let's
Maybe
see.
I was 21.
Robbie Gold was with the Bears in 2005. That was 15 years ago. Pro Bowl.
That was
What year
it.
They go to Super Bowl.
After going undrafted in 2005, the defending Super Bowl champion New England Patriots signed Robbie Gold to the 2005 NFL preseason, even though he had already established a Super Bowl winning kicker in Adam Vinatieri.
I didn't even know he played for the
Ravens. Let me see. I don't know. Let me look. Let me search for the word Super Bowl.
Just want to read that contribution from Crystal Brown. Frank Clark, gonna eat all them words. Thanks for putting up with me earlier. Thank you for the contribution, Crystal. Yeah, man, we done dookied on.
Yeah,
Frank
he was a rookie in 2005. He was the kicker on their special team starter, Robbie Gold, 2005.
For who though?
That was the Patriots. All right. The Bears would later lose Super Bowl XLI to the Colts by a score of 27-19. Robbie Gold was a kicker for that game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 2005, he was on Robbie. He was with the Chicago.
Yeah.
He was a rookie.
I
2005.
don't know why I don't remember that Super Bowl. Who the hell was Chicago's quarterback? You don't say Brian Hoyer.
That was the game with two
Rex
black head coaches.
Rex Grossman.
Rex Grossman.
You don't remember that it was two
Yeah, it
black
was
head
Tony-
coaches? They said there was history going to be made because a black coach was finally going to win the Super Bowl.
Lovey Smith
Tony
and
Dungy and
Tony
Lovie
Dungy.
Smith.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and Kyle Orton or whatever that dude's name was the
Wow.
starting quarterback for Chicago.
Wow.
Levine Toilolo was another guy that was on that list.
Falcons, correct.
Yeah.
So we definitely got this experience, but hey, man, I just wish I can go to sleep and it be Sunday.
I'm not rushing the last game of the year, man. I'm not. I want to take the time and
not rushing, bro. Them boys is ready to play. Mike, what you talking about?
No, you ready to watch them play.
They are ready to play. You don't think them boys ready to play, Mike?
They still have installs to do, man. Kyle Shanahan still drawing stuff up. He don't have his first 25. He told you that.
He don't need his first 25. He got 48 plays in the back of his head. All he got to do is just be like, hey, you remember that play? Oh, yeah, I got you, coach. Right. What Nick said, they be on some Little Giant stuff. I'm telling you, yo.
We going to see any trick plays the Super Bowl by our offense?
Absolutely. You're going to see the exoneration of gonorrhea or whatever.
Puerto Rico.
Annexation of Puerto Rico or some shit like that. Oh, my God.
Puerto Rico.
We getting out of here, man. Y'all, we getting out of here. It's been... we shot over again, man. I'm gonna stop messing with y'all, bro. But yeah, no, guys, listen, man. We're gonna get into a little bit more details much later. But nice little general talk on the offense here, going against their defense, and I'm not worried about anything of their defense. Doesn't sound like anybody else here is either. All of us have us going over 30. Nick has us in the 40s. I think I'm there with Nick. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
As of right now, that's where I have us.
I think I'm up there with Nick, and I also have that, including the nerves and everything. Shaking out. I think that the Niners can have a bad opening drive and come right back and just take off.
Agree.
So I'm not worried about it. Yeah, they'll get it shaken out, and that's what the coaching is all about. Coaching is what we do best. The self-scouting on the sidelines and in-game adjustment. So I'm not worried about it. So we want to thank everybody who checked us out today. You guys make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys have your notifications turned on as well. If you have any questions, guys, just hit us up on the website. It is www.nothingbutniners.com. That is your one-stop shop for any and everything 49ers from us here and Nothing But Niners, all right? And we're going to get ready to wrap this thing up here. I'm going to give you guys the floor one more time for final remarks. Let's do Tony, Wayne, and then Nick.
Is it Sunday yet?
I'm going to smack this guy.
That's all I have to say.
No, bro, you still on vacation. You going to make it home?
I'm coming home tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Oh, just real quick. I was talking to somebody that I know here because we had an event. My wife and I had an event, our wedding here. And the guy that we spoke to said that in 2 weeks, this resort is booked to max capacity. I wonder who's coming here.
The 49ers?
They've been here a couple of times from what I heard.
In 2 weeks or in 1 week?
2 weeks.
So
The hotel is at 100% maximum capacity.
Where are you at? Mexico? Jamaica?
Yeah, Mexico.
Mexico? What part of Mexico?
Mm-hmm. Cancun.
Oh, Cancun. I like Cancun.
Mexico!
All right, Wayne. Final thoughts, bro.
My final thoughts is I'll see y'all mother suckers tomorrow. Same time, same place. Nothing but Niners. Let's get this cracking. Let's go.
I ain't got much else for tonight. Can't wait to talk tomorrow.
He said 100-0 Niners.
100-0. Dude, hey, what's up is always saying that. No, I mean, I can't wait to just really dig into this game. And I just can't wait for Sunday, obviously. That's pretty much it, man. Love everybody. Ready to rock.
I'm going to do 100 push-ups. Got to get ready.
I wish I could do 2 push-ups right now.
Yeah. As far as my final thoughts, man, I'm hyped to see this offense. I think Kyle Shanahan is going to put on an absolute clinic. I think we're going to get to see this defense look very foolish. Tony had a great question with, is this the best defense we've played in the postseason? And the answer is no. I think it's easily no. And not in any aspect, whether it be linebacker, even if you try to go position group by position group, they don't possess a best unit of any other the units that we've played so far. And like I said, we put up 30 points with having our quarterback barely throw the ball, 27 pass attempts the entire postseason so far. And we are averaging over 34 points a game. They don't stand a chance, guys. And that's why we're going to say happy birthday to Freddie Gonzalez. So happy birthday to my man Freddie.
Happy
All right.
birthday, Freddie.
Hope you enjoy it from us here at Nothing But Niners. We're going to wrap this thing up here, guys. Let's go home. Prepare for glory.
Anticipate pain.
But always remain faithful.
We out of here.